President Benjamin Mkapa. He has been described as a committed freedom fighter for his country and other African countries. African Union Chair has been remembered him as an integral force in peacekeeping efforts in East Africa. I want to get the very latest now and bring in our correspondent in Dar es Salaam, Isaac Lukando. Isaac, a very good morning to you, or very good afternoon rather. President John Magufuli announced on Thursday, I understand, a 7-day national mourning period. Has there been any updates with regards to the memorial as well as the funeral arrangements?
Okay, so when this was announced, the passing away of President Mkapa, it was from Thursday into Friday. It was about midnight, and so most of the newspapers had already been printed for Friday, and so today Tanzanians have woken up to a lot of newspapers with a lot of detail on the passing away of President Mkapa. And along with it, the Prime Minister's statement on what is to follow in terms of the schedule. So yes, it is true, President Magufuli did announce 7 days of mourning, but the Prime Minister on behalf of the government announced that as of tomorrow, Sunday, the 26th of July, for 3 days, there will be an opportunity for residents of Dar es Salaam to be able to pay their last respects to the late President Mkapa at the National Stadium, or should I say Uhuru Stadium, which is right next to the National Stadium there. So it will be preceded by a mass led by the Catholic Church, and citizens, residents of Dar es Salaam will be allowed to pay their respects, and this will go on for the next 3 days. And then on Wednesday, the President Mkapa is expected to be flown to the south of the country, to his home village in Masasi, Mtwara. This is in the south of Tanzania, where he will be laid to rest.
Isaac, we're living in a pandemic. We're grieving differently here in South Africa and around the world. There's lots of regulations governing funerals currently in many parts of the world. Is this likely to affect the funeral service of former President Mkapa in your country?
We are not sure that will affect, because we have seen President Magufuli say that the coronavirus is no longer an issue here in Tanzania, and as such, a lot of business is as usual here in Tanzania, and people are taking precautions. And so in terms of, for example, people going to the National Stadium to pay their last respects, I am not sure whether that will be affected, because there are already procedures in place. When sporting activities were allowed to resume in the country, they set with it some key procedures. For example, no one would be admitted to the National Stadium without a face mask or without hand washing or sanitization of their hands, and social distancing measures to be taken. So we're working on the assumption that these measures will still be in place when crowds of residents of Dar es Salaam go and pay their last respects as of tomorrow.
You say COVID is not really an issue in Tanzania at the moment. What sort of numbers are you seeing there?
In terms of numbers, we have not yet seen any numbers at the National Stadium. Where we are at currently, we are very close to the residence of the late President Mkapa. What we have seen is a lot of vehicles, a lot of dignitaries, high-ranking government officials, representatives of embassies going to pay their respects at the home of the late President Mkapa. Otherwise, on the streets, everything is proceeding as usual, but you do sense that things are a little bit different in terms of the mood. There's a bit of a somber mood. Most of the media outlets in the country are, if it's radio stations, they're playing somber music. And content and programming in general has changed and is focused on the life and legacy of the late President Mkapa.
Isaac, I just want to get a sense of the pandemic in Tanzania, the COVID-19 pandemic in Tanzania. What sort of case numbers are you getting in Tanzania currently? You say it's not really a major issue in your country. Hundreds of, people are affected, thousands of people are affected across the continent. What's the situation with the coronavirus in Tanzania?
So speaking from two angles, first of all from the official statements by the government that the rate of the coronavirus has decreased rapidly in the country. Recently, we have seen a lot of the centers that were used as treatment centers, health centers that were used as treatment centers for coronavirus patients have been shut down. There are about 84. They've shut down about 75 of them already, and the reason being given there is that there are just no more patients coming in to these centers. And so while the government is saying that, they have also asked the residents in Dar es Salaam and other places to be vigilant, to take precaution, so that they don't get a second wave of the virus. Now, secondly, on the street is that people are continuing with business as usual. Nothing out of the ordinary. If you had come to Dar es Salaam as a visitor, you would not get a sense that there is a major pandemic. Only when you visit public buildings, government offices, there you will see, and business places, of course, precautionary measures, hand washing, face masks and things of that nature. Government hospitals, you go there, you see that a lot of that. But otherwise, the population is very calm and continuing with business, and they seem to be believe that there is no coronavirus in the country. Yeah.
President Mkapa was well respected in Tanzania by many accounts, and I guess with the upcoming national elections, what has been his influence on the population, and what effects do you think his death will have now?
Well, we're not sure about what his effect will have. We're yet to see what the effect will have. But we do know that many people in Tanzania do regard Mkapa as the person who brought them President Magufuli. And of late we've seen a lot of comments coming from residents appreciating the work that has been done over the last 5 years by President Magufuli, and therefore attribute a lot of what they are seeing today to President Mkapa, because President Mkapa was the one who picked Magufuli about 20-something odd years ago in 1995 to become a deputy minister, and thus beginning his political journey. So yes, President Mkapa was influential in getting Tanzania Magufuli as we know him today, but I think the effect of his death, whether it increases or decreases anything, is yet to be seen.
All right, keeping a close eye on things, there is our correspondent in Tanzania, Isaac Lukando. Isaac, thank you very much indeed for your reporting. Be well.